Hello and welcome back to another edition of Good Morning Pattaya, Pattaya Channel's very own breakfast show. As usual, I'm your host, Nick Pendrell, and equally as usual, I'm joined by my faithful partner in crime, Mr. Dave D. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Nick, and the crime bit's a bit, you know...
yeah, they just haven't found out yet.
Can we get one thing right? Are we on the sofa or the couch? Or
maybe the chaise lounge.
The chaise lounge thing.
Rather even posher than usual today.
We've got to up the grade today because we've got a lovely lady with
You're
us.
both mad.
We do. And I think we have someone equally as mad with us. It's Eva from the Pattaya Soul Club.
Yeah, I'm totally bonkers. You're dead right.
So you're in for a fun packed 15 minutes out there in Viewerland, I can tell you. So, Pattaya Soul Club. I know this is quite an institution on the Pattaya scene, isn't it?
Yeah, we're doing our bit. When I say we, I have to include my partner in crime, which is Earl C. Brown,
right?
Otherwise known as the Ginger Prince. Right, he'll love that bit. So, no, Earl is my son by another mother, actually.
Okay.
Yes, I've sort of adopted him. And he and I were just literally chatting almost 3 years ago on chatting on Facebook, and just soul music came up.
Right.
And I'd just been to a live concert of Bobby Womack, who's my absolute hero as far as soul music is concerned. And one thing led to another. And his father, it turns out, in Yorkshire, because he's a Yorkshire lad.
Right.
His father was a Northern Soul DJ. Oh, well. Well, Northern Soul in the UK now is absolutely huge. If you guys have been back there, every county, once a month at least, every county in the UK has a Northern Soul gig happening. Yeah, it's enormous. Not just up north, but even I went to one at the end of Bournemouth Pier, which is as far south as you can possibly go, apart from Land's End. Yeah. So, so we were just saying, and they all said, he said, you know, we should do something. I said, yeah, we should do something. So the next thing, we're just having a little meeting, and we've got a couple of DJs on board, Northern Soul DJs, that are just chomping at the bit to get going with this in Thailand. And then it turns out November 2011, we were the very first people ever to put on a Northern Soul gig in Thailand.
What we have to remember, though, Nick, I mean, you know, years and years ago, when the Northern Soul scene was massive. I mean, you're talking Wigan Casino nights. You're talking people fighting, queuing to get in, thousands of them. Which, you know, you're going back in time. But of course, they are now parents, and they've got children.
Absolutely.
You know, and at the end of the day, they're passing this on, and it's passing it on. And now, like vinyl's increased 40% this year. Sales on vinyl is coming back. Okay, now Northern Soul never went away.
Right.
You know, it's just that in sort of popularity, it was still there, but it was for the minority at the time. But now it's coming back again, bigger in the counties, like I said. And of course, what you do here is, of course, you've got a lot of expats that went to the Northern Soul and love what
original Northern Soul,
original
like my age, as Robert said, old, but not quite there. I don't know. Maybe we're about the same age.
It's memories, you know. It's great. It's fantastic, and I've been to a few, and they're brilliant.
It's sort of like kicked off after the London scene, which was the real soul, the Motown, the whole scene sort of died off. And went more into the funk type music of the 70s. Then the North are saying, no, hey, we want to hang on to this dance music because it's a particular genre. It's a sort of like a Motown sound that just keeps that beat going. And of course you had that specific, fantastic dance that goes with it. And, you know, and there's Elaine Constantine has made a movie. I don't know whether it's on general release yet.
Which is about the Northern Soul.
Whoa, she's really captured it. You know, I've seen various clips of it. She's really captured it so well.
And also the fashion.
I mean, these massive, great flared skirts.
I can remember going to Wigan Casino, and, you know, the first thing you'd say is, how big are the trouser bottoms you got? Oh, mine are 28 inch. Well, mine are 32.
Yeah, they're like, the guys had like a skirt on each leg. It was quite amazing. But, you know, when they do their twiddles, you know, they do their spins and stuff, and it's amazing. And so we had our first gig, and
so how many people did you get to the first one?
We had probably about 130 plus all the media, which is probably about another 60. No, I'm joking.
There's a lot of us about.
But you know, it was extremely popular. So we thought,
130 for the first one. So.
Yeah, but we've hit 200.
Wow.
Yeah, we hit 200 for a second.
Niche, so I'm amazed that you get.
Well, the thing is, we ended up listening to what the people wanted. We started to get the 30, 40 age group, because it was a great social event, as well as you know, us self-indulging in our music, along with the DJs. So these people were thinking, well, hey, this is nice, but not too sure about music, you know. But yeah, and of course the Thai girls and guys are coming along as well, because it's great, you know, and they just absolutely took to it, because they just love to dance, as you know, and they love anything with a beat. So eventually, after 8, we changed the format a little bit, and then started to introduce, the DJs introduced a bit more soul music and a bit more Motown. So then it became sold out. Sold out. Don't you think that's a pretty good twist on words? I think it's amazing. Yeah, and our logo, which of course has been our logo for quite some time. So so everybody associates this with our soul music. And
did you not get some Northern Soul purists who had a bit of a moan?
Oh yes, we have the purists, but sadly, and I don't know why, because there are a lot of people here from the north of England, my age. Right, I won't say what it is.
No.
But I love saying that. But you know, I'm surprised that there aren't more of them that actually come. There are quite a lot of purists. There are a handful of those guys that were there in the day that can still do the dance. Well, you know, I don't know if you know Jimmy Malone. He's a little Scottish guy, but grew up in the north of England. This man is like, I think he's late 50s or something, or mid 50s, but late for the scene. But he did go to Wigan, and
Wigan was fantastic.
He has the moves that just blow your mind, you know. And there are as Dave was saying, the kids of these people who have grown up with the parents playing this stuff all the time. Are into it, and they do the dance. They've taken the trouble to learn.
The first time I ever went to Wigan Casino, it seriously, it was like a football match trying to get in there. And when it was in there, I just thought, you know, what is this massive place, dance hall? And as soon as the music started and these guys and girls started doing their dances, which I had never done, I'd never seen, it was amazing. At my age, it was just amazing. And I frequented a few of them. And like you said, you've got them guys now that have passed it on, and also you've still got the older guys that are here as well. And I think by diversing on your music slightly, you are opening it up to wider, because you've got Northern Soul, you've got the soul, you've got a little bit of everything. And I think that's the way to go, and a lot of people will appreciate that.
There's still a lot more Northern played than the other stuff, because that's our core. And really, that's synonymous with what we do. So but it's all good fun, and we're just coming up for our 3rd sold out, but it's our 10th event. So 2.5 years later, we're still rocking strong. And
so how often?
We decided not to overkill it. So we decided every 3 months is probably spot on, and then we've got them chomping at the bit, saying, "Oh, when's the next one?" You know, if we did it once a month, by now it would have died. We're sure of it, you know. So, but no, look, you know, Earl and I go out there and we get amazing sponsors, who pay for. If I can just describe what we do, most people already know. We charge 400 baht at the door. That gives everybody that pays 2 hours of free flow. We get a wee bit of help now from San Miguel. They used to donate 10 cases, but laws have changed. So we get a bit of help from San Miguel. The sponsors coverage is of all the red and white wine, the soft drinks. Apple Honey Company supplies cider punch. And sometimes, but even that's changed. Apparently the law says they can't donate cases anymore. It has to be a keg. And if the venue doesn't have the right pipes and stuff for the coolers, then
so what about the other sponsors? I mean, you know, if I'm here and I'm a sponsor and I say I want to sponsor one of your events, I mean, how do you sort of donate your money to whatever donations you
the way this works is they donate money the receipts actually come from the recipient, which is always we're down to 2 really, really worthwhile beneficiaries, which is Hand to Hand Foundation and Take Care Kids.
Right.
They both obviously look after kids, right? So, and some abused kids, some slum kids, and da da da. So the receipts, official receipts, come from them because they're official foundations to the sponsor. So, you know, this time, for example, we've got Smithfield's Gourmet Meats, and he's also putting on a barbecue, bacon and sausage butties. For, you know, and he just talked to me today and said, how many? I said, oh, well, do 170, whatever. You know, that'll cover it. So, so we've got Smithfield Gourmet Meats. He gives me a cheque or cash or whatever. That goes in to cover all the costs.
Right.
We've also got CEA Project Logistics. They're an ongoing sponsor. And also Riviera Group are an ongoing sponsor. So we've got 3 sponsors this time, one of who we call a major.
Right.
And those guys, you know, are just amazing. We couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Well, we could, but we just have to up the
Sure.
up the ante and lower what we give to the charity. So so I toddle around and I get the printing done, and you know we put posters and flyers out. On the night, the sponsors will then get really good coverage. Like, hey, you know, I've just mentioned the sponsors, which I really need to do.
Absolutely,
And
so you said every 3 months. I mean, when are we sort of looking at the
5th of July. It's on.
July.
Here we go.
5th
off
of July.
Again.
Mark that in your diary.
We're off again. So 5th of July. It's a Saturday. It's at the Access Inn. Which we all know is a terrific venue for a gig like that, you know, because I know that the TFI people...
I went to the last one,
well, we haven't had one there.
No, there was one I went to.
TFI, they had an 80s night there, which they had 200 people in there, which is just amazing. Another organisation that puts on events for charity. So, it's all good stuff, folks, you know, and we're completely transparent. You know, we present the money, you know, in an envelope with the amount on there, photographs. It's all on Facebook. It often goes in the newspapers.
Do you think when you like finish the last one and then your next one is like 3 months down the line, do you think as soon as you finish the last one you started on the next one again?
Straight into it.
People do not realise. I mean, a lot of people don't realise that, Nick. You know, because it's a lot of work.
You know, some people say, "Oh, yeah, it's hard work," but you know, for me, being a retired person. Not retired, a retired person, you know, it just really gives me...
self-achievement?
A little bit.
Happiness?
You know, I think absolute happiness.
And useful?
Especially when I go... especially when, you know, we present the money, and I actually do hands-on stuff too. With Hand to Hand. You know, once a week I'm the driver for the slum run. We call it the slum run, and then there's a prison run, and we take food to the slums and stuff, and sometimes, you know, the kids...
And you enjoy the nights yourself, don't you? Because I've seen you. I've seen you a few times.
Just watch me twiddling around and I've got a bottle of San Miguel in my hand, going whoop-de-doo. You know, it's great stuff.
So no, enjoy yourself.
It's really, it's a great night, and you know, we've had our ups and downs with venues, and you know, I was just telling you that Robert Hagan, you know, with the Boomerang, we had 4 there, and it was such a great venue. It had that real underground. You know, when you mentioned Wigan Casino. But at Wigan and the Twisted Wheel in Manchester, which was of the same sort of thing, at the same time, they had like 2,000 people in there.
Wigan,
You know, I mean, imagine how much money I could make with 2,000. Ooh, I'd love that. But that would mean more sponsorship. But anyway, it's very difficult to find the right venue. And especially one, you know, now
it's got the feeling.
We're using virtual DJ on a laptop, which all this stuff is downloaded to, which is great because it's all free. And literally, if we have a venue with a sound system that's good, we plug in the laptop, boom, done. Away we go, you know, so it's great. So we have had venues like we've been at the White Horse Pub over the dark side. Great venue, no sound system. So that just means more sponsorship to pay for, you know, the chief to bring his stuff.
So what is the capacity of the Access Inn?
I can get 200 in there.
200.
I'd love to get 200 people again. I really would.
And do you think... do people have to book early to make sure they're getting a ticket?
No, there's no booking involved at all. You turn up, you pay your dough, and in you go.
Okay.
That actually rhymes.
Pay your dough and
pay your dough and in you go.
There we go. Should be a
I'm good like that.
The slogan was first heard here.
Yeah.
So, hopefully quite a few of our viewers will be wanting to come. So
Yep.
how do they get in contact with you? Have you got a...
Facebook.
Yeah, what should they search for?
Just go into Pattaya Soul Club, right? Anyway, because we've got 12,000 odd tickies on that. And also, if they're on Facebook, just go in the search engine and put Sold Out, which is the name of the event, and the event will come up with all the details.
Fine.
Simply, that's all they have to do.
That's all we need to do.
Sold Out.
So head to Google.
Yep.
Emma, thank you very much for coming as Talapatis. All best of luck on
Nice
the
to see
5th of
you
July.
again.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's been wonderful.
Stay tuned for part 2.